Welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we're doing the Real Valladolid career mode series and we're on season 2 now, and we are starting off with one signing that we made off camera, and that is of Alessandro Bastoni. We needed to improve that defense, so as long with bringing Matteo, I have brought in Bastoni. As you can see here, £8.2 million plus Aguado. He came from Norwich. I don't think he's originally from Norwich, but we did sign him from Norwich, so I think he'll be an amazing signing for us to make. And as you can see here, we are transfer listing a few players that we are going to sell to try and make way for some more signings. We did have a transfer budget of around £15 million. Obviously we did spend around 8 on Bastoni, so we only have around another 7 to 8 million left, but hopefully with some of these sales, probably with a few more swap deals, I could make something happen. And as you can see, I am transfer listing a lot of these players because, funnily enough, they're not going to get any game time whatsoever. So it's a good thing I'm doing. And these are the training sessions I'm going to go with. Obviously, Guidi, we need him to get higher and higher as soon as possible. And Bastoni as well, we're going to train up because it will take a bit of time to get, that's good. And another piece of business we've just got is Tammy Abraham. We have loaned him in. Obviously Enes Unal did leave, so we needed a striker. I didn't have enough money to actually sign one, so I just decided to loan him in. So we've got Tammy Abraham in. As you can see here, we are going to try and negotiate a deal for Marcos Andre. Again, he looks like quite a decent player, to be honest, and could have a successful career somewhere else. We have got a £3.15 million euro accepted for Marcos Andre, and hopefully we get a bit of money in for him. Next one is Pablo Javias. He was someone I did want to try and hold on and then maybe try and sell, but his overall just wasn't going higher. He is 27 years old, but to be fair, we could get a decent chunk of money for him. £6.5 million we're going to try and offer, but they're only willing to accept 4.5, which isn't great. So I'm going to try and get as much as possible. I don't want them to storm out. Hopefully they don't storm out, which will be the perfect ideal thing. And they have accepted £5 million. His release clause was higher, but we can't do much about that. Next one is Kike Perez. We are going to try and get him out the door now. Around £1 million odd they came in with, £1.05 million. Again, he has got decent potential. 23 years old. He's got a few years more left to grow, and hopefully they don't storm out. And somehow they've stormed out. I don't know how. But we are going to try and make a free agent happen. We do need to boost up the squad if you are going to sell so many players. But this guy looks really good here. He's a 18-year-old right back and centre back, and he's 64 overall, so he could have some good potential, maybe some good sell-on value. His recommended wage is 1.5k. We are going to give him the prospect role that we give all players, to be honest. And the length of the contract, obviously we're going to try and give 5 years to him. He looks like a very decent player, to be fair. Matteo Celebron. He's going to be someone who just rots in himself, but we are going to again, it's someone we could just try and sell in a few years, or maybe it could be a backup in the future. He does want a release clause as with all the players that we try and sign, but obviously they don't mind if we decline it. And the salary, we're just going to give him, as you can see here, we're just going to give him 2,000, and hopefully just accepts that, and that will be good enough for me. So yeah, he has accepted, and we have signed Celebron, which is nice. And we have sold Javias. That is one of many departures that happens. Mateus Fernandez is very unhappy, which isn't very good. And we are going to sim this game in the European Shield against Hertha Berlin. See how we do in this one. And this is a 2-0 loss against Hertha Berlin. Next up is right back. We are going to try and sign Diego Dallo. Obviously, Pedro Porro did leave, and I'm not convinced all by APA, so I am going to try and sign Diego Dallo from Manchester United. We have tried and looked at other right backs, but this is the most successful one. We do have the most success we have. We did try and sign Reece James. That didn't happen. We tried signing loaning Diego Dallo. He was on a loan. So we are going to try and get a permanent deal done for him. As you can see here, this is very difficult because they do want quite a bit of money, but we're going to do the best we can. And 14.8 and then a 15% sell on. So we can definitely afford him at the moment, but I do want to try and get a lower fee because I do want to sign some other players. I don't think I will be signing many more players, but maybe loans and maybe play wages extensions. We'll just have to see. But they have accepted £13.5 million and a tiny sell-on clause for Diego Dallo. So we are going to try and negotiate a deal with him. Important role. He has accepted with a 5-year deal and no release clause as always. And he has accepted that, which is nice. And we are going to negotiate his wage. Again, I don't know his wages. But again, assuming he is at a Premier League club and playing for Manchester United, I do assume he's going to be on decent wages. And so as you can see, we're going to offer him £22,000 with a £100,000 signing bonus just in case he doesn't like the wages. But he doesn't like that, to be honest, and he wants £37,000. At least he hasn't stormed out. At least we know what he wants. But that signing on bonus, £350,000. That is crazy. Wow, that is mad. But that 330,000 plus. Wow, they do want. What is this? Okay, we're just going to accept it now, and we're going to bring in Diego Dallo from Manchester United, 77 overall. He is a bit better than Pedro Porro, and he's going to slot straight into that right back position. And we are going to sim our next game, which is against Stade Rennais, I believe. I think, yeah, that is Stade Rennais. Let's see how we're doing this one. And it is a 2-1 win for us. Abraham scoring along with Bouadou. Next game in the European Shield is against Frankfurt. And as you can see here, we do have a 2-2 draw in this one. And we are going to be moving on swiftly onto this next thing. Mateus Fernandes, we are going to try and loan him out because our manager rating is going down, and I do not like that. So we are going to try and negotiate a short-term deal, a short-term loan for Mateus Fernandes. Again, I don't want him out for the whole year in case we do end up needing him. And yeah, the recall fee won't be as higher. So we are going to try and negotiate 55-45, 55-50. 50-50 is what they want. I'm going to accept that. That is pretty good. Again, Pedro Porro, next little bit. We are going to try and loan him in. Again, as I said, I just want this for a squad depth because in some ways this is a backup left back, because if Windle gets injured, we could put Dallo on the left and bring Porro back on the right. So I'm going to ask for a 2-year loan deal. That would take it to 3 years he's been with us, and that's just all loans. But his wages are very extreme. He's on £57,000, which is very big. So we are going to try and negotiate something, and they do accept 55-45. And we do have another free agent accept. Clayton Lewis is signed. That again, free agent, he's just going to rot. And Fernandes has been loaned out, and Porro has been loaned in for another 2 years, which is very, very nice indeed. And we do have another free agent accept, which is Gorgilin, again just to deepen our squad. And Zalazar has left our club, which is nice. So we can hopefully maybe try and go for one more. I don't know, we'll have to see about that. And yeah, as you can see here, this is the squad we're probably going to be rolling with for the rest of the season. I do really like it. Salisu, Matteo, Bastoni looks like a very good backline for me, and I think could be enough to get the job done in this next game. We are playing Real Sociedad. As you can see here, Sangali's coming forward for them. He plays inside to their striker, I can't pronounce his name, and they scored in the 41st minute. They've scored, and that is going to be full time. I'm just showing the goals because I want to focus on the transfer front, but we have lost our first game against Real Sociedad, which isn't very good at all. We are going to accept an offer for Kike Perez, £1.25 million. We're going to get straight into the goals of our next game, which is against Valencia in the league, and this we're going to change it up. 4-4-2 we're going to try and go with Abraham and Bouadou up front. We'll have to see how Abraham does this season. He has 81 overall, which is very nice. And yeah, first bit of the game, Rashford comes forward with the ball, plays it inside to Kondogbia, but Salisu makes a mistake and Kondogbia scores. Big mistake there by Mo Salisu, and Kondogbia scores for Valencia in the 17th minute to give them the lead. Very not good at all. And that is we're on the edge of half time, but Bouadou, can he make something happen here on the stroke of half time? Myron Bouadou coming forward has a beautiful shot and right into the top corner, and just on half time Myron Bouadou scores, makes it 1-1 for Real Valladolid. Now they're coming forward again with Marcus Rashford. Can he make something happen here? Rashford plays inside to Mikel Moreno and he scores. He is their new signing. Mikel Moreno scores in the last second for Valencia to make it 3-1 for them. Sorry if I missed some of the other goals in this game. They did win 3-1. We have got around 5 million to spend. Maybe a bit less than 5 million if you like adjust the wage budget. So around £2.5 million we do have to spend. And as you can see here, we are going to try and look at the board expectations. They expect us to finish in a Europa League position. Not too worried about the youth development and increased season ticket stuff. We'll probably do that anyway. And Europa League, that's going to be very tough to be honest, Europa League, but I'm going to try and make that happen. I just want to try and get as much done as possible. We do have a loan offer for Diego Allende, which we are going to accept. And yeah, we do have a game against Alaves. Let's just see how we do against Alaves. And we do actually lose this one 2-1. So we have lost our first 3 games, which isn't good at all, and that leaves us with a horrible start. And the horrible luck continues because Myron Bouadou has been injured for 2 months. So we are going to continue with this in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and in the next episode we'll be getting into some more gameplay, so hopefully you guys will tune in for that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.